Hello guys, this is Sandra here. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. It's lovely to have you here and I hope you're gonna enjoy your time. Today we have another project pen update. This time we're gonna update my yearly project pen. So for this one, obviously everyone has yearly project pens in the penning community, I think, and I just decided to do one by my own, if that makes sense. Oh god. If it makes sense. So I chose 10 products because I know a lot of people are doing like a 22 by 2022 and all that kind of stuff, but I have other project pens going on as well, so I know that if I reach too high, you know, then I'm not going to make progress in any of my project pens. So for me, there was no point in that. I chose 10 products. I will link the previous 2 videos that I had down below and up in the cards. So I chose 10 products. It's a rolling style project pen, and with some of them I have the goal of using them fully up. With the other ones I just want to hit pen, or, you know, get some sort of usage out of them. And I think that's all you have to know. Oh, and I do monthly updates. So that's it. Without me blabbering on for too long, I'm gonna just jump into the video. But if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you, you know, here in this little tiny community I have. But for now, truly, let's go for the update. So the first product is something I've been working on for a ridiculously long time, despite its tiny size. And it's my MAC lip liner in the shade Spice. I mean, I can barely hold up to it. Like, the lid is bigger than the product at this point, and it's still going. I think it's because on a daily basis I don't really wear a lip liner or a lipstick, because I'm gonna wear a mask and it's gonna smear all over my face. So, you know, the most I usually wear is a tinted lip balm, so this doesn't really get enough use. And every month I'm saying that, you know, there's one more sharpening in there and it's gonna go blah blah blah, and it does not go. So I don't sharpen it after every use because I don't see the point in that. It's just wasting the product, and I'm not that desperate to get rid of it despite its tiny size. So I actually did sharpen it though once, and you will see it in my markings. There's a little bit of difference, but not a lot. I don't know what to say. It's so tiny. I mean, look at it. It's ridiculous, but well, it's still here. Hopefully by next month it will be gone, but I've said it a few times now, and here we still are. The next one is another MAC product, and this is the lipstick in the shade Patisserie. And unfortunately, despite its beautiful nude color, let me swatch it for you. I'm not sure I ever swatched it actually on video. There we go. I did not manage to make a new dent in this. I used it 2 or 3 times. It's a beautiful... It's quite a neutral nude, I find, in the sense that it's not too pink, it's not too peach, and it's one of the cream sheen formulas, so it has a nice gloss to it. I just cannot seem to talk. It just glides on the lips, and it's really comfortable to wear, although most of the time I like to top it off with like a clear lip gloss anyway, because nowadays apparently when I wear lip products I like something quite glossy. I think it's because my lips get quite dry under the mask. But yeah, it's a beautiful lipstick, but unfortunately while I used it I did not use it enough to make a new mark. So hopefully by next month. A product I made a lot of progress on the other hand, is my Clinique Chubby Stick, Chubby Baby Tint, whatever it's called, in the shade Coming Up Rosy. So this is essentially just a tinted lip balm, and this is a product that I could not make a new mark on because it's almost empty. So I'm literally scraping out every last bit in here, and while I was not wearing a lot of lip product this month, this is something that I wore on a daily basis, whether I was at home or whether I went to work, because it's a tinted balm, so I could easily whack it on under the mask, and it helped with my lips not getting chapped, but also, you know, because it only has a small tint to it, it was not really ruining anything under the mask. Not like anyone can see it, but you know, still. So this was something that I did use on a daily, and there's a little bit left to be scraped out. Usually I just take a lip brush and really dig in there. So there's a little bit left, but because I don't think it will last more than a few days, I'm gonna roll in another one. I have 2 more shades of these, So the next one I'm gonna roll in is the shade Budding Blossom. So this one doesn't have a lot left in there either, like it's the tiniest little nib. And this is just an even lighter pink, like you can see it there. It's gonna give the softest tint to my lips, even softer than this one. I think I prefer this one if I'm honest, but I'm gonna enjoy using this as well. And I feel like these have been in my collection for, wow, way longer than I want to admit. So because of the times we live in, I feel like this is the perfect time for me to roll them in a project. So while this is not fully finished, I know a lot of people would count it finished, I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna just roll the next one in, so as soon as I finish with this one, I can start working on this. I'm super happy with this progress, and you will see where I was last month, so to move from there to it being virtually empty, I think is quite a major goal for me to hit, because I'm horrible with lip products, so I'm quite proud of myself. Another product where I'm quite chuffed with the progress is the Bobbi Brown Longwear Gel Eyeliner in the shade Dark Chocolate Ink. So this is a shade that's not even made anymore, that's how old it is. But as I mentioned in the previous update, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it at this point. Now, it's not something I would use on anyone else, but you know, I only use these products at this point on myself, so I will risk it as long as it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with it. And last month you could not see a progress, but this month, oh my god. I used it quite a few times in my brows, and then more times than not I use it as an actual like winged liner. And my progress is really, really good. Now, I took a picture. I'm not sure how well you will be able to see it in the picture, so let me try to show it to you here. I'm not sure how well you can see it. I had to like change some camera settings, but in real life there's a super, super deep dip in this, and I think it's because every time I use this, I used a small angled brush to sort of dip in there, and I always made sure that I try to dip in the same spot. So we're getting there. Now with this one, my goal is just to hit pen on this. I try to remember if I had pen on this before, because I know I mixed it up once. I cannot remember now. But basically I just want to make sure that I get use out of it while I still can before it's too late. And it's a lovely, lovely product. I like this color because it's not too dark, so it's not as deep and harsh as a black liner would be. But it's still dark enough to give my lash line a nice definition. Now, I'm not wearing this today, unfortunately, but yeah, I'm quite happy with the progress I made, and I'm pretty confident that if I keep using this, I can hit pen on this, possibly even before the end of this year. So we'll see. I had famous last words before, but I'm pretty confident that this can be hit pen on before we finish up this project. So, you know, keep your eyes peeled for that. A product I'm pretty stumped and stuck though with is the Nars Dual Intensity Eyeshadow in the shade Himalaya, and this should be so much easier to use because it's such a nice neutral eyeshadow, but as I mentioned it before, because it's a bit more cool toned than my preferences are nowadays, I find it a bit harder to use. And while there is definitely a dip starting to form in there, I don't think you can see it on the pictures, or even if I hold it up for you. Can you actually see that? I don't know. But I don't think I use it too many times, 2 to 3 times, and I feel like that's quite typical for me with this particular product. So, you know, I'm wearing it today. I feel like it looks really nice, but then I didn't really use it by itself. I petted like a ColourPop Super Shock, a ColourPop Super Shock Shadow. Why is it so hard to pronounce? On top of it to make it look a little bit warmer, and let me swatch it for you. There we go. It's like a beautiful brown, but then it shifts almost into a silver, and I think that is my problem. It's too cool toned. I'm not really a cool toned kind of girl anymore. When I bought it years and years ago, I used to be, but my preferences have changed, and I am glad I'm making progress on this. Is it a slow progress? Definitely, but you know, it's a progress. It's getting more use than it would without this project, so I guess that's something. you know, trying to definitely grasp on some positives here because, well, my progress is not the best, but, you know, either way, it's getting some use, so that's something, and I'm happy with that for now. We will see where we are by the end of this year, I guess. Next up, we're going to talk about 2 Benefit products, and, well, my progress on them is a bit, I don't know, one of them is good, the other one is not so good. So let me start with the bad news so we can finish on a high note, I guess, when it comes to Benefit. The first one is the Call My Buff eyeshadow, and it used to be in like one of their eyeshadow kits, oh my god, that they did years ago. They don't do those anymore, but it's just a nude shadow. I used it as a base today for my eyeshadow look. I also set my under eyes with it, so there are a lot of ways to use it, and I repressed it because last time there was just a little shadow left on the rims and it was really hard to use. And I did mention in the past update that I'm going to repress it and then we will go from there. So I do have a picture from when I repressed it, and then after that I sort of forgot about this. So yeah, I don't think you're going to see a massive difference from repressing because, again, I sort of forgot about this eyeshadow. Not gonna lie. But yeah, next month. But yeah, it's quite nice to either use as a base or to set my under eyes because I'm so pale that it works perfectly for that. So there are definitely multiple ways I can use this eyeshadow when I remember to use it. So there's not a lot to say about this, so we're gonna swiftly move on to the second product from Benefit, which is the Bella Bamba Blush. And with this one, there is a definite progress. Like, look at that. You can definitely see how I made the pen a lot bigger, and I feel like this month will be fine. But then after that, I might have to repress this as well, just because it's getting to a point where it's getting harder to grab it with a blush brush, and my camera decided to focus on the top of my head. Wonderful. Second to last product I'm going to talk about is my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. I have, of course, the light version of this. I work on both sides of these and I count them each as one separate product because even though it's a duo, you know, it's 2 separate products at the end of the day. So with the bronzer, I mentioned it before that this is not the original product in there anymore. I repressed the Fenty bronzer and I mixed in a little bit of a Bourjois bronzer. The Fenty one was not my absolute favorite, if I'm honest. It's okay. I wear a little bit of bronzer today there, and then I also have quite a bit on my neck because I'm super pale. And with the bronzer, you can definitely see a difference. I'm so happy with this progress, especially because, as I mentioned, I'm really pale at the moment. I'm pretty sure I'm at my palest I've been in a long time. So most of the days, especially when I just need to get ready quickly and I just whack on some makeup, I don't want to faff around with this bronzer, quite frankly, because it's too dark for me. So most of the days I take a big fluffy brush and I just dust it on the 2 sides of my neck and a little bit here just to bronze up this region, because most of my foundations at the moment, even the palest ones, are a touch too dark for me, just a little bit, and not too bad. But you know, if I use a bit of a bronzer on my neck, that helps the situation quite a lot, especially because I only use the smallest amount and then really blend it out. But that just helps to fuse my foundation together with my neck without it being blatantly obvious that my foundation is a bit darker, and I don't necessarily like to blend my foundation all the way down my neck because, I don't know, I just don't. I prefer to bronze up my neck a little bit. So, oh, sorry, that was a weird hiccup. But I'm really happy with the progress I made with this bronzer, and hopefully this summer I actually get a little bit of a tan. Last summer it did not really happen. And then I can use it on my face too. Once I use up both sides in here, I will quite happily repurchase this, because while the price tag is hefty on this, I mean, look at my product. It's absolutely destroyed. And again, that side, the original side, I actually fully used up before. So I know this is a product I definitely get some good use out of. And then moving on to the highlighter side, I think I made the pen slightly wider there as well, but obviously from highlighters there's only a little bit you need, so that side will definitely take me longer than the actual bronzer side, but I think it's growing on me. Now, definitely I use quite a few different highlighting products today. which helps my glow. But if you've been here before, you will know I like my glowy complexion. So I think it's definitely growing on me though, and it's definitely on the more natural side of highlights, so I don't love it as much as, let's say, my Becca highlighter, but the texture of this is definitely really nice and smooth, so it blends in the skin the same way as the Becca one does. It's just not as intense, but it's a highlighter that, because it's not a really intensely pigmented one, it definitely blends into my skin, even though I'm at my palest at the moment, so I don't have an issue with that. And the more I use it, the more I like it, but obviously it's a highlighter, and as much as I love my glowy looks, it's still gonna be a slower progress, but I'm really happy with where we are at now, and at this point it is one of my most used highlighters in my collection. For you, I'm sorry, my videos get quite rambly, sorry, I'm just really weirdly trying to reach for the last product as well. Which is the Bobbi Brown Longwear Cream Shadow Stick in the shade Heather Steel. How rude, my camera cut me off. But this is quite a dark brown, quite a cool toned one, so I did mention last time that I will try it in my brows, and it did work. It did work. Also, this has been another project pen before, where I don't think I made a lot of progress on it, but this time I am so proud with where we've got with this. There's only a little bit left. I'm not gonna screw it up now because it's a bit broken and it doesn't properly go down now unless I like press it with my fingers. But yeah, I use this a lot as an eyeliner. So what I normally do is I take an angled brush and then just, you know, like move it on the top of it, and I go in with that. I go in with that on my lid and then just, you know, do my eyeliner as a normal. And I got so much use out of my pot liner from Bobbi Brown that I'm quite impressed that I made as much progress on this as on that one. Like, both of them got so much use out of them, so I'm quite impressed with myself. Not quite sure how that happened in a month, but I hope I can keep up the good work. I really enjoy this though. This is a little bit softer in finish than the pot liner from Bobbi Brown, so you know, I think even there you can see it's a little bit lighter, it's a lot more cool toned, whereas that one is a bit darker. So depending on how strong of an eyeliner I want, that's how I decide, you know, which liner I go with. This gives me a lot softer of a finish, but it still gives me enough definition, but it's a lot softer than that one, and I'm really happy with this product. But you know, it's getting quite old in my collection, so I just wanted to make sure to give some love to it. And that's it for today. I feel quite rambly today, so I'm sorry about that, and yeah, I say today way too many times, so we'll progress on that one day. But anyway, I'm gonna go now. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel. And maybe what should we talk about today in the comments below. Let me know, what do you find the hardest to pen, or the easiest? Let me know. But for now I'm gonna go. Yeah, please consider subscribing and give it a like, and I'm gonna go now because I talked too much today. Have a lovely day, and bye bye.